Well, I'm Mason Cain and I run a business called Biblical Businessman. Essentially, what we do is we work with specifically with Christian men that are either current entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, and we dive into really deep issues that demographic faces typically. So it's kind of a personal development course, and then paired alongside of that is, um, a lot of business strategy and marketing strategy, and a lot of strategy that we've used to create a passive income online is taught inside of the course as well.
Wow, I love that. That's such a I don't think I've ever really had like I don't see too many like personal development or business development companies that are faith-based. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. That's
Thank you.
cool. What so prior to joining AdOutreach, what advertise like where were you advertising and how has that been going?
Yeah, we have done most of our advertising on Facebook solely, and we're very profitable with that for a few years. And that was kind of our bread and butter. And then this last 12 months, I'm sure as everybody has experienced, we've been just getting hammered by Facebook. I think a lot of it, to be honest with you, is because we are faith-based and because we target and work specifically with men. I was getting flagged with all kinds of stuff that wasn't exactly in their policy. Like they can't, hit me for marketing to Christian men or working with Christian men specifically. But I was getting hit with, bans saying that I was promoting an unequal employment opportunity. So like that's as close as they could get to, what I was doing, which I don't feel like they liked at all. So I saw this trend, I would say almost 8 months ago, Facebook just kind of going downhill and kind of our relationship with them. And, we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with Facebook,
Right.
and the relationship was quickly deteriorating. And so we started kind of looking into Google ads and YouTube ads, and found AdOutreach, um, and decided to kind of take a leap of faith, knowing that Facebook, could potentially, we could lose that relationship and use that marketing avenue at some point. And, we jumped in to the program about 2 months ago. And actually, this last week, I got a notification from them that I was banned forever, like no chance of, ever getting our account back. So, luckily we were a little bit proactive about a trend that we saw happening, and jumped in. And at this point, we have YouTube ads running. So that hit that we got from Facebook just shutting us down completely wasn't quite as hard as it would have been if we hadn't have diversified our marketing.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's funny how that works out. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's well, I'm super glad that we were, kind of oh my gosh, let me turn my iMessage notifications off. I apologize.
You're
Uh,
fine.
I'm really glad that you had, you did make that leap of faith. So it was kind of like, yeah, like a fail safe. So that's
Yeah,
awesome. That's good to hear. And yeah, it's definitely a tricky time to things, yeah, censorship. Um,
yeah, for sure. Especially in what we do is apparently a very sensitive topic. But
Gotcha. All right. So far with joining at Outreach, have you felt like how have you felt your level of support has been?
I feel like the level of support has been very good. I get a response from Lyndon pretty much within a day, of submitting something. And he's always taken me on the strategy calls. He always takes me into his Zoom room. And at this point has, kind of seen us starting YouTube ads to where we are now. So he understands where we've been at through the whole process, and is able to kind of take that in consideration when he's giving me advice on, am I cutting this campaign or are we scaling this campaign? Are we cutting this keyword, or kind of like the science behind optimizing all of the ads? So all in all, the support has been, definitely up to and exceeding my expectations.
Okay, good. I love that. I know I'm always I guess kind of enamored by the guys on, our client success team because we've grown so rapidly and
Yeah,
keep up with everyone like on a personal level. Like they understand where everyone's at. And I'm like, and I'm looking at like our pipeline. I'm like, how do you guys remember all this? Like it's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's
the growth is definitely apparent from, this end of things. Like I can see the growing pains that you guys are experiencing, but that like we have growing pains too as a business, right? So like I come from a level of understanding and that, and you guys are doing well, overall with it. So it hasn't, there's definitely some stuff that I can kind of tell, is a little bit chaotic on y'all's end, but you've done a good job kind of keeping it together, which as entrepreneurs, that's kind of what we have to do, right? Like we're trying to just kind of balance all of this stuff at once and make do with what we have.
yeah, when the house is on fire, you just gotta go get the hose.
Yep,
And
that's it. That's it.
yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm sure we all appreciate you recognizing that. So thank you. Um,
Yeah.
all right. So far, has the workshop like do you feel that the workshop is helping you and has helped you understand like Google and YouTube ads more than
The
you
workshop
did
or the course?
both?
Both. Um, yeah, so I'll speak on both of those topics. The course I feel like has given me a good framework to understanding the capabilities of YouTube ads and the strategy behind it in a condensed timeline, which is the whole reason that we invested in the course anyways. Was like we could have figured this stuff out on our own, but it would have taken a lot more time. And as entrepreneurs, I feel like our most valuable asset is time, and the way that you scale your business and the way that you're successful is by collapsing time, right? So the course has done exactly that. It's collapsed the amount of time that it would have taken us on our own to figure all this stuff out and understand the YouTube ads on the level that we do now. As far as the workshop and the group calls that we're doing, um, I feel like that's been vital to our success as well, with being able to have, personalized advice of looking at what's actually going on inside of our personal business and tailor fitting a solution and a strategy to moving forward with what we're doing right now. There's a lot of courses out there, and courses have a lot of benefits. But the one thing that they don't have is speaking specifically to your business and what's going on inside of your business, which could be drastically different from, somebody else's. So I think that those calls have been very vital to making sure that we're doing what's right for our business at this specific time.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you mentioning that. And that's funny because I actually like I had bought like an Instagram course that was supposed to like
Yeah.
have followers. And the girl who I got it from, I ain't never met her and like talked to her. Like it's just so it is like night and day, like having that personalized like experience. And I'm glad that we're able to offer that to you. And you know, we're always like here and available to give you like very specific help.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And so my last question is what are your ultimate like goals? And that could be as far as like are you looking to get like a certain like number, a certain like a certain amount of revenue, like monthly revenue generated like from YouTube ads? Kind of what is your ultimate goal like for your business? And do you feel that AdOutreach can help you get there?
Yeah, so we've been at the 50-ish $1,000 a month level for a while on Facebook ads. So the main goal with YouTube, and I feel like it will provide the avenue to do that, is reach a broader audience and break the 100,000 a month level, which has been our goal this last year. So I feel like the stuff that we have learned through AdOutreach inside of the course and on the coaching calls will definitely give us the tools to do that.